as far as acting, I didn't know that I could do that. Like, I used to want to be on TV to do commercials. So like Flo from Progressive, every time I would see her, I'm like, one day I'm gonna be the face of companies and I'm gonna be doing commercials. And so I got into that. I started doing commercials. I started booking roles for commercial work. And so when I came to LA is when I started to say, okay, let me see about like acting and see how I could do it. And initially, I tried, like just shooting with other influencers or content creators. And I really was struggling. And now looking, fast forward to now, like how I see it now, I just didn't know my identity.
As an actress?
As an actress.
Okay.
Because, and this is something that I also struggled with back when I first came to America, like being looked at as an African American, but I'm really African, right? So being seen as like a black girl, right? Like I'm not just a regular black girl. Like I didn't understand the African American culture when I first came here. And everybody had already seen me as that because of my skin.
Right.
So it was really hard. So I had to adapt to I had to go find friends that were African American and kind of be like them. But I'm like, no, we are still different. You know what I mean? Like, not, do you get what I'm saying? Like,
exactly
there's still like a difference between us.
It's like you having an identity crisis.
Yeah. But we share the same color skin.
Right.
So like everyone thinks that I'm like a black girl, but I'm really African. But I really wanted to connect and be like an African American. So, I'll dress like it. I'd even talk like it.
You were trying to fit in.
I was trying to fit in.
Yeah.
But it's not until I got older realized that, I'm Kenyan.
Yeah.
I'm a full Kenyan.
Right.
So for me, in relation to acting, the roles that I was getting as a black girl, I was doing roles that I just didn't feel like resonated with me. Like I didn't know how to do certain improv talking as this. Like how would she say it? And so I kind of let that go for a little bit until, and then I even deleted my Instagram. I was done with it. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna focus on commercials.
Oh, that's crazy.
Keep it there.
That's crazy.
I had deleted my Instagram. I was like ready, just rebrand.
That's crazy.
And then was it 2021 is when I reactivated my Instagram. And I was like, okay, I'm going to now really align with who I am. That's when I really was like, all right, no, this is me.
Okay.
Like I gotta honor myself, right? And that's when we connected. And I was like, remember? What did I say when when he hit me up? He was like, I'm trying to shoot. What did you say?
Hit me. Go ahead.
I was like,
Tell the story.
I was like, okay, so yeah, I'd love to shoot, but I don't do this, do this, do that, do this.
No, you saying it nicer. I'm gonna say exactly what happened. So I sent this girl a DM, right? Because I had seen you somewhere else. And I seen you, but I was like, and it's funny because you didn't really speak in that video. But I was thinking, you African. Because you had the whole African thing. You played like an African girl in there.
Yeah.
So I was like, you African. And I've always talked about creating African content. I started with creating African content, like Fulani, before I did English, like American content. And I've always wanted to create African content. I did. But I never really had like the people to do it with.
Right.
Because you have to find the right people and you have to find people that kind of want to do it in order to do it. Right. So I reached out to you, but at the time I wasn't reaching out to you to do like specifically like African. I was just reaching out to you to like work and then see where this can go. And I remember I sent you a DM because I was working on this series at the time that was really big. And I reached out to you and you hit me with, I just want to let you know I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, I'm not gonna wear this, I'm not gonna wear that. I was like, I read the message like I don't know like why she think that way. But I also kind of understood the concept like a lot of girls when they come here, niggas would like try to schedule them, but like this is what you want them, but you really not telling what you want, so it's like. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I get that. I get that. So you have to be careful.
Yes.
So for me, it's always like, you don't have to do nothing you don't want to do.
Right.
You don't actually. Like, for the most part, I don't even tell people how to dress for the most part. Like, it's rare, unless it's a specific role. I'm like, okay, well, you're going to need business casual today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'd be like, okay, you need this. But specifically, you kind of, dress how you want to, right?
Dress how you want to, yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. No, that was interesting. But then I was like, but we can shoot though, I'm down.
Yeah, and then you was like, we can shoot. And I was like, okay, cool. So pull up. And then we met and we shot. And the funny thing is that thing we shot never came out.
That one never came out.
Yeah.
I always thought that was my audition.
Audition?
Yeah, I was like, oh, he's probably auditioning me, and he's just being respectful.
Did you, when you walked away, that's how, like, did you think we was gonna do any more after that, or what
No,
did you think?
I think we were, because the way we had talked about it, you were like, no, this is good, this is good. I think when it didn't come out, I was like, oh, maybe that was just the auditioning.
But did you also, how soon did you think it was gonna come out?
I don't know. I honestly don't.
Because it's very, sometimes you, like, for example, sometimes you'll work with people and then they'll think, like, you're going to shoot today and it'll come out tomorrow. Or some people understand that it may not come out, or it might come out, like, 2 months. Like, we got a lot of stuff that we do. Like we shot the African, when you holler African Girl, the new season is just now coming out. We shot that, what, 8 months ago, maybe?
Right, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe because, like, you know, the people that I had shot with previously, some people, the style is different, right? Some people can shoot one day and it be out tomorrow.
Yeah.
But some people, it takes a couple days, whatever it is. So I just didn't even know.
Yeah.
But I just was like, wait, I never saw that one. What happened to it, you know?
Yeah. No, it's funny. And then it's kind of cool. And I kind of like that. I like when people are upfront about working, because I'm kind of, one of the things about me, I'm going to be honest with you. If I tell you let's shoot, and you say what we're gonna do, I'm terrible at telling you what the idea is or how it's gonna go. I'm so terrible. Like, if I tell you, you might be like, I'm not interested. But once you see it, it makes more sense.
It makes more sense.
So that's one of the things. I've always been pretty bad when people ask me, I'm like, hey, let's work. They're like, okay, what we about to do? I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
I don't know how to tell you this.
Right.
Because, I mean, I do know how to say it, but it's just like, it's not going to make sense.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And, but then when you see it, you're like, oh, I get it.
Right.
I get a lot of that.
Yeah.
So we started shooting, but we did English, though, first.
We did English.
We didn't do African till like maybe 8 months to a year later.
Yeah.
So we're doing English content, we're shooting. And it's funny because I always felt like we didn't have anything. I don't know if I told you, but I was like, I always felt like we didn't have anything to me that was like, this is it. Because, like, I love creating, like, series.
Yeah.
And I always like to look for one where I'm like, okay, I feel like this has some type of impact. But at the time, I was like, our videos are cool, you know.
Right.
But I didn't feel like there was anything that was impactful at the time.
Right.
And then we did When You Holler at Her.
Yeah.
African Girl.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, remember, I switched the title for that.
Yeah.
That wasn't originally what it was. That was the concept with that was, it's basically the African girl that I can't smash or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. That was like it was the same idea, but that was the title that I had in mind.
Right.
At first. I was like, I don't like that title name anymore.
Yeah.
After the edit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
then I was like, what did I say? I was like, can I talk in my accent?
Yeah. And then we started, and I was like, and it's funny because even when we was shooting it, like, it didn't hit me how good it was till the edit was done. I was like, wait, you should have literally just bodied this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so impressive because I'm African, but I can't do the accent like you.
Right.
But that's not because I can't. It's just because I think people think the African accent is the typical Nigerian accent. And in my country, we already have like 5 languages.
Right.
So we have so many accents already, and I have an accent for a Guinean, but I don't know if I have an accent for all around African. Because the Nigerian accent, I think, is the more popular one, so everybody tends to think an African accent is a Nigerian accent.
Right, and it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah.
I think I have to give it up to, like, just taking that break that I did to really realign to who I was in LA, especially in LA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you don't know who you are in LA, you'll get lost.
I know.
Yeah, so taking that time off and just really realigning to who I was and what I wanted and how I wanted to appear when I go out there, I think that really helped because I was so ready to just explore who I am as a Kenyan woman in America that's lived here majority of her life. And so it just came natural to me to ask, like, let me see if I can, because when I go back home, every time I go back home, I don't ever talk like this. Yeah. Because it's that thing of, like, if they hear you talking like this, everything is going to be 100 times more expensive.
The prices change off the top. It's
exactly.
like, wait, hold on, wait, what did you say?
Yeah.
How much is this? Oh, no, that's an American accent. I think that's like at least $500.
Yeah. And then also, like, for me, it's like just being able to connect with people. Like, I want to just become like who I am when I'm home. You know, I don't want to be out here like talking like this and I'm like, no, I can connect with you. You understand me, I understand you.
Right.
and we're good. But some people have said, oh, like, what are you trying to do? You're trying to be fake. Why are you putting on that American accent? I'm like, no, it's not even that. I just have the ability to just sound a certain kind of way when I'm in certain places to adapt to the, easier to flow.
Yeah.
And then I'm able to do that back home. I don't know if it's a gift that I have, but I feel like a lot of Kenyans made